Mm-hmm. And you let them in the room?
Not yet. I'll do it as soon as they're live.
All right. Most excellent. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. So good to see your beautiful faces. So good, so good. Oh my God, so grateful for all of you. Let's do a quick sound check. Can you hear okay? Type in the chat. Let's get an okay if you can hear me okay. Can you guys hear us? Type in the chat if you can hear us.
Yep.
All right. AJ, thank you very much. Welcome everyone. Let's get a sound check on Jhon Freddy. Diga algo ahí, Jhon Freddy, para escuchar ahí. A ver si lo escuchan bien.
Hola a todos.
Everybody got a good sound on Jhon Freddy? Most excellent. Most excellent. So we are transmitting live from Colombia. We're in the mountains of Silvania at the moment. And before we get started, we would love to know where you guys from. Type in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from real quick. We'd love to hear that. So we've got New York City, we've got New Jersey, we've got Ashland, Oregon, we've got Minneapolis, Marianne from Minneapolis. Wow, North Africa. Thank you so much, Haya, for tuning in from North Africa. I can't imagine what time it is over there. Canada, all our love to our brothers and sisters in the Great White North. Arizona, thank you so much for tuning in. It is our pleasure. It is my personal pleasure. And for Visions Market's greatest honor to do one of our first featured healer and artist spotlights. This man right here next to me has been my path brother for only God and Goddess knows how many lifetimes. And we came back one more time again in this lifetime to do it up. Jhon Freddy Cepeda Pesca is a traditional plant medicine healer. He is an artisan. He weaves the path of the plant medicine in the physical realm, the spiritual realm. He brings the path with mind, body, and soul. It is such a deep, deep honor and with so much joy that I present to you my brother here, Jhon Freddy Cepeda Pesca. Saluda, Jhon.
Hola, mucho gusto.
So Jhon is a native Spanish speaker, and so we'll be doing a live dual thread transmission today. So I'll be speaking to him in Spanish and translating your questions and your comments and his story to you. As he speaks, I'll translate and we'll get that going. So good to see everyone. Let's start with a little bit about who Jhon Freddy is and where his path started. Jhon, tu camino. ¿Quién eres tú? ¿Y dónde empezó tu camino, mi hermano?
Bueno, mi nombre es Jhon Freddy Cepeda Pesca y
My name is Jhon Freddy Cepeda Pesca.
pertenezco a las raíces
My roots
Sicuanis
are the Sicuani tribe
y Jícaros.
and the Jicaro tribe.
Entonces, vengo de esta tradición
I come from this tradition,
rescatando
rescuing
estas raíces,
the roots,
ya que de esta tradición ya casi no se conoce.
because so much has been lost,
Estas tribus ya están, o sea, ya casi no existen.
and my tribes are nearly extinct.
Entonces todo empezó con una enseñanza de mi padre,
It all started with a teaching from my father.
que era 100% botánico
He was 100% botanist,
y partero.
and he was also a doula, a male doula.
Entonces ahí entró el amor a conocer
And there in me was born a love
este mundo botánico,
to learn and to know the world of botany,
del misterio
the mystery
de las plantas.
of the plants.
Y así, digamos, fue que llegué a
And
la
like this,
medicina.
I came to the medicine.
Mi padre no era de yagé,
My father was not a man of yagé.
era solo botánico.
He was only a botanist.
Pero yo llegué a la planta
But I came to the yagé plant
para conocer
to know
y practicar
and practice
esta esencia
this essence
y vivir en esta conciencia.
and to live in this consciousness. Muchas gracias, Jhon.
Listo.
In a little bit, we'll open up for questions and comments you guys can share with Jhon. But I want to get into now, because Jhon practices two arts. Jhon practices the art of plant medicine and with the botany that he learned from his father and has developed along his lifetime. And he practices the art of the weaver. Jhon, la tradición de la medicina tiene, so I'm going to ask Jhon how the medicine that comes with the plants and the medicine that comes with the art of weaving, how are they intertwined or woven together? Jhon, el arte de la medicina como botánico y el arte de la medicina como tejido, ¿cómo se entrelazan una con la otra o se tejen una con la otra?
Es muy bonito.
It's very beautiful.
Pues yo fui descubriendo
As I grew, I discovered
a través de la planta, de la medicina,
through the yagé,
conociendo y despertando lo botánico.
it awakened more knowledge in me about botany.
En eso me entró una curiosidad
And this was born a curiosity in me,
y algo que me llamaba.
something that called me.
Entonces empecé a estudiar
I began to study
el tejido
the weaving
de la artesanía.
of the art of weaving.
Entonces allí es muy bueno porque
This was good
en ese tejido
because as I began to weave in the physical,
se vive
I began to see a mirror for life
una medicina
in the medicine,
donde practicas
where there's a practice
la paciencia,
of
la
patience,
perseverancia
of perseverance,
y la arquitectura
and there's an architecture that is formed
que la misma planta
that the plant itself
te da las enseñanzas y las visiones
gives you teachings and gives you vision
para poder
so that you can
llevar a la humanidad
take to humanity
un tejido
a tapestry
con conciencia
with consciousness
de la medicina del yagé.
from the medicine of yagé. I'm going to ask Jhon at what age did he start drinking yagé, and then I'll follow it up by asking him at what age did he start weaving art. Jhon, son dos partes de esta pregunta. ¿A qué edad usted empezó a tomar el bejuco y a qué edad usted empezó a tejer?
Desde muy pequeño
From a very young age,
yo construía muchas cosas.
I was very curious with my hands.
Yo me gustaba mucho estar en los árboles.
I would like to climb trees a lot.
Eso fue antes de llegar a la medicina.
Way before I came to the yagé.
Desde muy pequeño
From very small.
yo hacía casas en los árboles
I would build tree houses
y allí me ponía a jugar
and I would play,
y me encantaba, digamos, estar en los árboles.
and I loved being in the trees.
Era para mí un paraíso.
For me, a tree is paradise.
Y empecé, digamos, a hacer cosas.
And I began to explore these curiosities.
O sea, el ser reconoce
My own being began to
y
recognize,
me conectaba y empecé a hacer figuras
and it would connect. I would make little figurines
con palitos,
with sticks, like stick figures.
casitas
I would build little houses,
muy pequeñas
little tiny houses
con piedritas
with rocks,
y todo eso,
and
digamos,
all this
me fue llenando.
was filling me.
Y al llegar a la medicina,
And when I came to the yagé,
entonces fue como un boom.
it all came together in a boom, like an explosion, like a big bang.
Se abrió mucha
A
información.
lot of information opened up to me.
Entonces empecé a tejer más
So I began to weave more.
maracas.
The chachas, the maracas.
También llegué a la parte donde empecé a conocer olores, aromas,
And I began to also distinguish different aromas.
donde hay semillas que botan aromas,
And I would notice how different seeds had different smells.
que es dan armonía de la naturaleza.
And each smell was a particular frequency of harmony being given to us by nature.
Entonces empecé a investigar más y a profundizar en ello
I began to investigate this and go deeper into it.
y entendí de que tocaba compartir.
And then an understanding came to me that now I had to begin to share this art.
Para que así podamos nosotros sentir esos aromas y esos sonidos de la naturaleza, del Creador.
So that through the sharing, I myself could feel the aromas and the essence of the Creator more. So what Jhon is saying is that he came to an understanding that in order to go deeper into his study, in order to expand his own knowledge and wisdom, he had to share, because the same way as the seeds were sharing their aroma, Jhon had to share his essence, his aroma with others, and this way others would also receive. And by doing this sharing, it opened up more doors for him to go deeper and receive more as well.
A la medicina llegué a una edad de 13 años.
I first drank yagé when I was about 13 years old.
Pero eso fue una experiencia muy llenadora para toda mi vida.
But this was such a deep and fulfilling experience. It has filled me for my entire life.
Y a mí hay muchas como rompecabezas.
There's like many puzzles
que yo empecé a armar
that I began to build
con lo que había vivido.
With what I lived.
Desde la corta edad de muy pequeño hasta cuando llegué a la medicina a los 13 años.
What he's saying is that what he saw in the medicine was that his life from an early age up until the age of 13, when he drank the medicine, became a jigsaw puzzle, and all the pieces started to fit together for him. Muy bonito, Jhon. Muchas gracias. There's something very curious now that Jhon mentioned seeds, because all the plants come from a seed, and so much of the art comes from a seed. Originally, the grandparents would weave the bracelets and the headpieces and the necklaces were actually seeds. Jhon, entonces, en un tiempo, porque la semilla es una gran parte de la cultura, de todas las plantas vienen las semillas.
Sí, señor.
La artesanía originalmente eran semillas que se tejían.
Sí.
Háblanos un poquito de ¿qué es una semilla? What is a seed?
Bueno, una semilla
A seed
es algo muy viene, digamos, la semilla llega a la madre tierra.
The seed impregnates the mother earth.
Y está esa fuerza.
And it brings force.
Que nos identifica.
That identifies us.
Con toda la naturaleza.
With all of nature.
Al estar allí en esa frecuencia.
The frequency of the seed.
De un instrumento.
Becomes an instrument.
Ya digamos formado artesanalmente.
And you can take the seed as an instrument and manifest it as a musical instrument.
Estamos a esa fuerza.
And here you bring
esa compañía.
And the accompaniment.
Se vuelve un instrumento, una herramienta.
It then this instrument becomes a tool now.
Para este camino.
For your path.
Entonces todos esos sonidos.
So all the sounds.
Que genera a través de las semillas.
That are generated through seeds.
Es para liberarnos.
Are to liberate us.
Para sanarnos.
To heal us.
Es otra medicina.
It is also a medicine.
Dándole armonía.
That brings harmony.
A nuestro ser.
To our being.
Todos esos sonidos.
All these sounds
hacen parte
are part
de todo lo que nosotros vivimos.
Of everything that we live.
Allá, digamos, el ser
the being
recognizes a través de estos sonidos
through these sounds
de dónde venimos.
Where we come from.
Y empezamos a revivir
and we begin to relive
esa raíz
the root
y esa semilla
and the seed itself
que nuestros ancestros
that our ancestors
han dejado en nosotros.
Left within us. Muy bonito, very beautiful. Jhon, que me enseña la chacha grande.
Bueno, esta primero. Esta semilla.
This seed here.
Se llama ojo de buey.
It's called ox eye.
También le dicen ojo de venado.
It's also called eye of the deer.
De esa semilla.
From this seed.
Nuestros antepasados.
Our ancestors.
Ellos la usaban mucho de amuleto.
Would use it as an amulet.
Para las malas energías.
To protect against negative energy.
Después de esa semilla pues vino una visión.
From this seed, from the ox eye or the deer eye seed, came a vision.
De elaborar.
To create.
Un instrumento.
An instrument.
Para que nos acompañe.
That would accompany us.
Y elaboramos esto.
And we created this. Esto es una chacha.
Una chacha.
This is called the chacha. Vamos a hablar sobre la chacha un poquito,
Sí.
Jhon. Empecemos arriba o abajo.
Arriba si quiere.
So we're going to discuss the cha-cha a little bit, and we're going to start with the top. Explíquenos esta parte, Jhon.
Bueno, esa parte
The
es
handle
un círculo.
is a circle.
Es como, digamos, llevando un honor a los círculos que nuestros ancestros
It brings honor
se reunían
to the circles where the ancestors would gather in
a hacer sus rituales.
to do the rituals for the earth.
Entonces se fabrica a través de esa conciencia.
It is woven and made through this consciousness of the meditation with honor for the ancestors.
Y ahí, digamos, es donde uno coge
And this is where it's held,
el instrumento
the instrument,
para hacer
to do
un sonido.
a sound.
Bueno, y esta parte
And this part here,
es bambú.
this part here, these are bamboo. Pieces of bamboo.
El bambú,
The bamboo
él también tiene un sonido.
also has a sound.
Digamos, cuando es el árbol grande,
When it's big, when it grows,
cuando hace mucho viento,
and the wind blows,
él hace sonido.
the bamboo creates a sound.
Y también vive el espíritu del agua ahí.
And we say that the water spirit lives with the bamboo.
Entonces eso representa como si nosotros fuéramos el árbol
This represents us as the tree,
y cogemos
and we grab
la semilla, el fruto,
the fruit, the seed,
y hacemos sonar.
and we make sound.
Entonces ahí están todos los espíritus vivos.
And there it's a living ceremony or living connection with all the spirits.
Para que nosotros
This is done
reconozcamos
so that we recognize
y vivamos
and live
en ese tiempo
in that time
donde todo
where everything
era amor,
was love,
dulzura y
sweetness,
danza
and dance.
para liberar y sanarnos.
And this helps us to liberate and to heal and to truly return to that essence and bring it here. Y ahora, las semillitas.
Las semillas,
The seeds,
es allá la hoja de buey,
this is the oxeye. This is a bigger oxeye, as you can see, that's cut in half.
que ya, digamos, al tener un proceso,
And through the process,
llega a este estado de instrumento,
it's brought to this state for the instrument,
donde a cada sonido
where each sound
es trayendo esa fuerza de ese árbol, de ese
brings
bejuco.
the force, the strength of the tree. John, ¿puedes tocarlo un poquito?
Claro.
John's going to play a little bit for us now. Muchas gracias, John. So typically the cha-cha is used in many types of ceremonies. Yagé ceremonies, mambe ceremonies, rapé ceremonies, cacao ceremonies, musical ceremonies, where the plants are only present in spirit, but the music carries the connection, carries the frequency from the seed of the light at the time of origin to the seed in the physical earth to the seed that's in our soul, and it's one single string that connects the music, the seed, and the origin to your soul and to my soul. John's got some more instruments, so let's look at those real quick. ¿Qué otro instrumento tienes ahí, John?
Tenemos aquí las maracas.
This is a maraca. Dame una a mí. We have two. I'm going to play with one for a second. So you live vicariously through me. Entonces, vamos a empezar con la pluma. So we'll start, as you can see, this is also a musical instrument. This also has a seed, but it's obviously different. So John's going to break it down for us, and we're going to start at the top again. La pluma, with the feather.
Bueno, la pluma representa lo que es la parte celeste.
The feather connects or represents to the celestial realm.
Entonces, esta semilla
This seed that you see here,
representa mucho la fuerza, el color rojo.
the color red in the seed represents strength.
Entonces, al llevarla es un amuleto de muy buena suerte.
This, in the instrument, or being carried by the practitioner, is an amulet of good luck or good fortune.
Y trae mucha protección,
And it brings with it protection.
para que así nosotros a través de este
So
sonido
that we, through the sound,
La pluma va llevando
the feather carries
ese mensaje
the message
al universo.
to the universe.
Con eso tú danzas
With this, you
y a
dance.
través de esa danza
And through this
se
dance,
va al universo,
it goes to the universe.
donde allí hay una liberación.
Where there we experience liberation.
Por eso es bueno
This is why it's good.
cada vez que tenga un instrumento.
When you have an instrument,
No es solo un instrumento,
don't look at it only as a musical instrument. No.
allí está la fuerza de estos árboles,
See that there with you, you're carrying the strength of the
de
trees,
estas semillas,
the strength of the seeds,
las cuales digamos se fabrican
which are made
directamente
directly
para que nosotros
so that we
dancemos
can dance
al universo
to the universe or with the universe
con ese propósito
with purpose,
de sanarnos,
with the purpose of healing,
de entrar en esa
the
frecuencia
purpose of entering into that mystery, that frequency,
para poder
so that we can
ir despertando nuestro ser,
awaken our highest self
nuestros ancestros,
and dance with our ancestors,
como ellos danzaban
to remember how they danced
a través, digamos, de los sonidos,
through the sounds,
a través de la conciencia
through consciousness
de las plantas,
of the plants,
y que cada vez ellos veían, digamos, esa arquitectura
and reconnecting to the vision that our ancestors had when they connected to the architecture, the design, the grand design of life, of the universe. Y estas semillas, what are these seeds, John? ¿Cuáles son estas semillas?
que se llama cóngolo.
These seeds are called congolo seeds.
Es un árbol grande
It's a very big tree,
que se da mucho a las orillas de los ríos.
which typically grows at the river, by the riverbeds.
Entonces, al verlo, digamos, un artesano, al ver esta semilla,
When an artisan sees this seed,
mostró curiosidad.
and the story goes, the first time, curiosity was born in the first artisan that saw the seed.
Pues en el camino, digamos, de la artesanía,
We say that on the path of the artisan,
cualquier semilla para nosotros
any seed for us
es tan sagrada y tan
is
valiosa,
sacred and holds value,
porque allí hay un mensaje.
because in each seed there's a message.
Primero, el mensaje de la naturaleza,
First, we have the message of nature,
que siempre está con nosotros
that nature is always with us
para guiarnos
to guide us
y para entender
and to give us understanding,
que ella nos da las herramientas
and to know that nature will always give us the tool that we need in the moment we need it.
para poder fabricar
It will allow us to build and create
desde este pensamiento
through our thoughts
un instrumento, una
an
herramienta
instrument, a tool
para la humanidad.
for the good of humanity.
Es muy grato para mí
For me, it's very gracious and satisfying
tener una comunicación con 4Vision,
to have communications with Four Visions
que ha podido entregar
that has allowed me to create a portal where I can hand over
mi creatividad
my creativity
como artesano
as an artisan
y mi conocimiento
and my knowing or knowledge
para poder que esto
so that this
esté fuera de Colombia,
leaves Colombia,
porque allí más que un instrumento está una energía.
because now it's not an instrument that travels, it is energy that is traveling to your home.
Esto es de mucha paciencia
Para
para fabricar.
To make these, it takes a lot of patience. And let's talk, vamos a tocar, por ejemplo, John, aquí,
¿Sí?
explica aquí qué pasó aquí.
Bueno, ahí se abre la semilla.
So here the seed is cut.
Esa semilla tiene una almendra, algo blanco muy duro.
There's a very strong or hard almond-like substance inside.
Entonces uno lo que hace ahí es, por ese orificio,
So through this orifice that is cut,
saca esa almendra
we extract the almond
y deja solamente el coquito.
and we leave it hollow inside.
Entonces ya él con unas chaquiras
And then with the chaquitas, which are the same ones that we use for the bracelets and the beadwork,
crea este sonido.
we stuff it inside and it allows for this sound to be made.
Entonces mucha gente lo hace de su manera, como digamos ve, cómo podemos darle
Different artists look to see how they can give
un terminado
a finish.
a este llamémoslo como a este portal
So
que se abre,
let's call each hole a portal.
para que así digamos
So like this,
quede
it stays
de esta manera
inside
perfecta.
in a perfect way.
Al llegar a ese sonido,
once you reach the sound,
entonces ahí está saliendo toda esa vibración de los sonidos,
the vibration
la
comes
armonía,
out of the art
junto con la energía que nosotros vamos a danzar.
with the energy that creates the dance.
Eso lo puede utilizar para meditación,
And you can use this for meditation.
para la herramienta que usted quiera.
It's a tool that you use at your choosing. Your free will says, I want to use my tool for this, for that, and it is your free will that determines how you will apply your tool. Now, I'm noticing here that John used this type of wood right here. Very hard to distinguish on camera. Es chontaduro, ¿verdad?
Sí.
This is a very special type of wood. It's one of the hardest types of woods that you find. It comes from a palm that produces a sweet fruit. Sometimes it could be a little semi-sweet, semi-bitter. But let's find out about the chontaduro because there's a lot of power in the chontaduro. Vamos a hablar un poquito sobre el poder de chontaduro, John.
Ajá. Bueno, este es de un árbol de chonta, de los que hace, también se da este fruto que es el chontaduro.
It comes from the palm that creates the chontaduro, also called pejibaye.
Entonces, ¿qué hacemos nosotros los artesanos?
So what does the artisan do?
Es unir,
Is to unite
digamos, las semillas.
the seed.
Estos también son bambús,
This
muy
here,
delgados,
these are little bamboo sticks that we have.
porque reconocemos que ahí hay un espíritu de agua y de viento.
Because here we recognize both the spirit of the water and the wind.
Y complementamos el que va por el centro, traspasando,
And we complement through the center
es el palo de chontaduro,
the chontaduro stick or wood
que eso hace para protección.
that brings protection.
Entonces, pues es un palo muy bueno para trabajar los instrumentos.
It's a very good wood to use for instruments. Personally, I have a chontaduro, I have a maraca that the main stick that John made for me is chontaduro. And then it has all the seeds that dance around. Estoy hablando de la maraca que usted me hizo a mí de chontaduro. Entonces, let's see, are there any questions for John right now? If you have any questions, if you're on Facebook, type it into the chat. If you're here hanging out with us on Zoom, go ahead and type it into the chat if you have a question for John. And then we'll move on because I'm looking at least one other instrument that he has there that I want to get into. And then there's some medicinal tools that John creates that I also want to discuss. So if you have any questions at this time or any comments, go ahead and type them. And we'll give you guys a second to do that while I put on some of my dope ass coquindo oil that John made. It's a whole nother story. Oof. Any questions over there, Mariah?
No, I don't see any.
All right, so if there's a little delay in your questions, just type them in and we'll get back to it in a second. And we're going to move on with the next instrument. John, el próximo instrumento que tú tienes ahí, ¿cuál será?
Tenemos una maraca también.
Oh, okay. Mine is bigger, but this is the chontaduro stick or wood that we were talking about. And this is a different type of maraca that you see here. Háblanos sobre esta maraca, John. ¿Qué estamos mirando aquí? What are we looking at?
Bueno, aquí vemos este calabazo.
So here they call this is a type of pumpkin, but it's a pumpkin that is not the traditional North American pumpkin. It grows on a tree.
Este calabazo se crea no con un árbol, sino se crea en la tierra.
Este no es del árbol.
No, es un bejuco en la tierra.
Oh, my bad. So this one comes from a vine, not the tree.
Entonces ese bejuco se da así como la llama.
So and it's a vine that grows just like your typical pumpkin patch vines.
Y él va creando las totumitas así.
And we call these totumas also in the yagé culture because when we use them to have bigger cups of medicine.
Entonces este es un sonido distinto.
As you can see, it's a different sound.
Es más como un sonido como suena, no clarito, sino como
el río con las piedras.
Sí, como algo más ronco.
So this sound is almost like rocks when they start hitting in the river. It is a ronco is not sore, but like a deeper, groggier sound, not so clear as that's like rain. That's like wind across the trees. And this is like the rocks hitting in the river together.
Entonces, este sonido que genera esta totumita,
The sound that's made by this tutuma or this little pumpkin, mini pumpkin,
él le trae a uno esa fuerza de esa esencia de que se da sobre la tierra.
it brings you the essence and the strength that emanates directly from the ground.
Para que así nosotros también, digamos, ahí en ese bejuco hace un camino
Just as the vine finds its own path along the ground,
para conectarnos con ese se llama ese plano.
this sound also helps us connect with the plane where we are traveling, journeying through life, much like the vine finding our own path.
Los otros son de árbol.
Nosotros que
esa madre.
This comes from a tree,
Este se da arriba en el árbol.
and it comes from high in the tree, representing the wind.
Este se da también por bejuco.
This is a vine, but este bejuco crece para arriba.
Sí, él crece así como a los lados.
And this also comes from a vine, but this vine goes up towards the tree.
Y ellas están dentro de como un frijol grande.
Estas aquí.
Sí.
Right, and the oxeye is born inside of like a big bean or a big bean sack.
Y este ya hace el plano de la tierra, donde él está.
But this
La tierra.
is grounding. This is earth, directly over the earth, growing and weaving your path over the earth.
Entonces este sonido
So this sound
es llamando ese plano,
calls that plane
despertando,
to awaken it,
digamos, la raíz,
to awaken the root
el
strength
camino, digamos,
of your path.
de esa conciencia de la tierra, de esa fuerza.
It brings the consciousness and the strength of the Mother Earth. Muy bonito, John. Muchas gracias. John, ¿y ahí qué más tiene ahí? ¿Qué es ese?
Bueno, aquí se elaboraron,
Oh, wow.
es uno,
No, yo sé para qué. Esto es para el pelo. No, it's not for your hair.
es un parambil.
This is a special ambil stick. ¿Y esto es chantaduro también?
Ese es chontaduro.
This is chantaduro.
Sí.
And again, here we have una semilla.
Una semilla de una palma.
This is a seed of a palm.
Es un racimo grande y se coge y eso la palma lo bota
The palm releases the seed
y siempre tiene estos tres orificios. Él viene con
naturalmente.
naturalmente.
And naturally, it's like a little coconut. It comes with these three holes. They're not drilled in. Those holes are a natural part of the seed. Kind of like the coconut eyes on a bigger, because the coconut's also a seed.
Entonces, un día me llegó a mí una visión
One day I had a vision
de cómo fabricar unos ambileros
how to create an ambil stick
para poder
that would allow
compartir,
sharing,
digamos, esta visión.
that would allow me to share the vision that I was having.
Empecé a trabajar en ellos,
So I began to work with them.
hice el palito,
I first created the sticks,
pero yo decía, no, le hace falta como algo para coger.
but I said, no, the stick is missing something. This is not complete as it is like this.
Entonces me llegó, digamos, ese pensamiento de mezclar.
And then a thought came to me to blend, to mix.
Y estas dos plantas son hermanos.
And these two plants in nature are brother and sister.
Entonces lo que hice fue conectarlos
So I connected them in the physical as well.
y colocar
And then I placed
un hilo de diferente color,
different color strings,
con los cuales, digamos, el color que uno se identifique,
which allows you, the user, to find the color that you identify with.
para que así mismo,
So like this,
digamos, nosotros
we
tengamos esa conciencia.
can carry this consciousness and share it with others.
Y digamos, para tener personal, cada uno de estos es muy bueno,
To have your own ambil stick is very good,
porque es su coso personal para uno.
because it allows you to have your own energy and cultivate that energy. Es que la energía es como una vasija. Y uno, mientras que más uno cultive su energía, más expande esa resonancia de su propia.
Sí, señor.
So what John is saying is that our energy is much like a container or a vessel. And there are times that we share our energy. But there are times that we have to go in and cultivate our energy. Because when you conserve your energy and cultivate your energy within yourself, you allow your vessel to expand the resonance of your sound, of your frequency to expand, which then allows you to share more and bring it more into the world.
Al tener, digamos, eso es como hacer de cuenta como un pintor tiene un pincel.
This is like a painter having his or her own pencil
Entonces,
or brush.
la intención de cuando mambea
So when we're going to have mambe, when we go into the embil, we have our intention that's going into the embil.
ahí, digamos, en lo astral,
And there, in the astral, when we make that connection with our stick and our intention into the embil,
usted está ahí, digamos, haciendo un tejido,
you're creating a tapestry. You're actually weaving.
acompañado con estas elementales.
And these elements accompany you, and their energy and their frequency supplements your intention as well.
Para que así mismo nosotros cada vez
So like
empezamos a
this,
entender
each time we go deeper into understanding
que hay que cuidar,
that we have to take care.
que hay que cuidar bien, digamos, como uno
We have to
piensa
take care of our thoughts,
para mambear y
how
tener
we
la
use the
medicina.
mambe, how we use other medicines, how we speak. We have to take care of how we act, and we have to take care of Mama Nature.
Y también, digamos, se le aplica así para que quede una cera,
¿Cómo en qué sentido, mi hermano?
para que quede así bien lisito. ¿ves?
Usted lo pule y lo pule para que quede
Sí,
lisito?
se aplica una cera, pero esa cera es de abejas.
I apply a beeswax. After I polish the stick down, I apply a beeswax across it.
Entonces tiene la energía también, digamos, de esa cera de abejas, que es bueno.
John uses a beeswax that's cultivated in his territory. Las abejas vienen de tu propio territorio, ¿no?
Sí, sí.
The bees come from my territory, and so it's organic. There's no chemicals. It's whole handmade, and we apply it because physically it creates a smoother tool, and spiritually it connects the energy of the bees, which is an energy of flower, of seed, of pollination. And there's a secret in the embil, which is that the stick represents the masculine, the embil container represents the feminine, and so there's a penetration of thought into manifestation. And bees are a big part of nature's pollination process. So what this allows is basically for an impregnation. It allows your thoughts, your intention with the tobacco, with the elements, to become deeper impregnated into yourself, again with the idea of expanding your vessel and giving birth to a greater sharing that you bring to the world, that you bring to others. Qué lindo, mi hermano. Muchas gracias. If there's any questions that anyone has, please let us know. If you have any comments, put them in the comments section, because we're pretty much done with the music part and we're going to move in to the plant medicine part. So if you have any questions about seeds, musical instruments, about John's path as an artisan or as a weaver, go ahead and put them in the comments and we'll get to that. And now, as you're typing or not typing, everybody's really quiet today, we're going to start talking about... Oh, there's 2 questions already. Great. What are the questions?
Ed is asking what seed that you've come across on your travels outside of South America has most fascinated you?
Okay. So the first question is, what seed has John encountered outside of South America that has fascinated him the most or caught his attention? John, la primera pregunta que hacen es, fuera de Sudamérica, ¿usted ha visto o encontrado una semilla que ha captado tu atención?
Pues la verdad, no he podido como llegar, digamos, a encontrarme con esas semillas. Sí.
The truth is that no, I haven't been able to find other seeds that outside of South America. Now, I'll explain. Voy a explicar un poquito por qué. Well, most of John's travels are within South and Central America. And so the South America, Central America corridor pretty much has the exact same seeds. Like all these seeds that John has shown us here in Colombia, you find, for example, in Costa Rica. And then John has done some sharing and some workshops in European countries, but there he's been pretty much in urban settings, so he hasn't been exposed to other seeds. Pero siempre está la esperanza de encontrar, but there's always the hope of finding a new seed outside of Central and South America. So if you know of any seeds that are particularly cool or interesting or have a great story, you can send them to 4 Visions and then we'll share them with Jhon. Que si tienen una foto, un cuento muy particular sobre una semilla fuera de aquí, que nos manden a nosotros y lo compartimos contigo.
Vale.
Yeah, very cool. Next question. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, Jhon makes a few different medicinal tinctures. This one is not, this is a topical tincture. This is more of an essential oil. This is made from the coquindo seed, which is one of the seeds that we use in the healing lotions that we apply during our ceremonies. Let's first talk a little bit about the coquindo seed, and then we'll talk about the coquindo extract that Jhon makes. Jhon, háblanos un poquito sobre la semilla del coquindo primero y después vamos a hablar sobre la...
Bueno, la semilla de coquindo,
The coquindo seed,
yo la conocí
I got to know it
cuando llegué, digamos, al camino de los 13 años a la medicina.
when I came to the medicine path at 13, the medicine path.
Entonces, un día
One day,
estaba yo con un taita
I was with a taita,
y empezaron a hacer un remedio,
and they began to make a medicine,
un jarabe,
like a syrup.
y estaban machucando el coquindo.
And they were mashing the seed, the coquindo seed.
Y yo me acerqué y cogí y olí.
And when I got close and I could smell it,
Y tenía un olor muy, o sea, uno lo olía y era muy impregnante.
it was a smell that impregnated my entire being.
Y empecé a preguntar.
And I began to ask.
Entonces el taita me decía, es que yo
And the
lo
taita
uso
said, I use it
para el problema de corazón,
for the problems of the heart,
o sea, para el sistema nervioso.
for the nervous system.
Entonces yo empecé a preguntarle más,
And I began to ask him more
que si servía para algo más.
if there was anything else that you could do with this seed.
Me dijo que sí, que eso se podía
He said
también
yes.
para aplicar, para oler.
You can apply it to your body and enjoy the smell.
Pero entonces esta semillita
But the seed,
es muy buena porque ella trae mucha abundancia,
she brings abundance as well,
prosperidad
prosperity.
y amor como propio.
And she allows the heart to open for self-love.
Entonces al aplicar ella es como pegachenta un poquito.
When you apply it, she's slightly sticky for a few seconds.
Ella es como pegachenta, pero tiene un olor
But the smell
como...
is a high-grade maple syrup.
Sí. Y ella, digamos, yo empecé a decir, wow, yo quiero sacar
And I was so impressed by her smell, by her fragrance,
un extracto
that
de
I
ella,
said, I want to share this. I want to create an extract that I can share.
un aroma.
This aroma to me is amazing.
Y así entonces fue llegando como la visión
And the vision began to weave inside of me.
y empecé a hacer pruebas
And I began to test and formulate
hasta que llegué al punto que era.
until I reached the right point.
Porque siempre tocaba buscar la manera más natural
Because I would always find the most natural
para que el olor fuera bien
way
natural
to contain the aroma
de la semilla.
of the seed.
Ese es un árbol muy grande.
This is a very big tree.
Sí, y cada año nomás hace cosecha.
And it only brings into harvest once a year in January, en enero.
Cada año, sí.
Once a year.
Bien. Entonces, y así, digamos, fui
And like this,
estudiando, digamos,
I began to study
esta semilla.
the seed.
Y es lo que me da mucha alegría
And it brings me a lot of joy
que llegue a muchas personas.
that many people are now bringing this on their path with them into their homes and into their spiritual practice.
Porque fue un estudio y fue una curiosidad,
Because this study took me years. It was a curiosity that was with me for years on how to make it.
pero o sea, con el corazón ya que, o sea, latía mucho
It would make my heart beat every time I worked on it.
por llegar a este punto.
Because I wanted to reach the point where I could finalize and share.
Se saca en esa presentación muy pequeña porque es muy concentrado.
I only make this little tiny, it's a 10 milliliter presentation as it's called here, because it's very concentrated. Now, I want to ask about the mystery of the coquindo seed. Jhon, hay un misterio que usted me explicó una vez sobre el coquindo, que antes de trabajarlo aquí a ponerlo en una oscuridad, ¿nos puede explicar ese
Sí.
proceso?
Bueno, el proceso pues, de toda tintura,
De-
tanto tanto como uso externo y
There's a mystery
interno.
for tinctures, whether it's a topical tincture or to be taken internally.
Es muy importante, se hace en un frasco pues de vidrio,
It's important first to work with glass
en algo que sea muy oscuro,
that
en
is
un
very
cuarto,
dark in a room that has no natural sunlight,
para que así mismo digamos no pierdan
so it doesn't lose
esa fuerza
the strength
del espíritu,
of the spirit
de la selva,
of the jungle,
creación, sí.
of creation.
Entonces ese es el proceso que se le da,
This is part of the process that is given.
y entre más dura digamos allí en ese
And the
proceso,
longer you allow it to sit in this process,
es mucho mejor,
the better,
porque más extrae digamos ese aroma.
because it extracts the aroma. And to us, because in the physical world, everything has a spiritual representation, the stronger the aroma, the stronger the spiritual connection is. So I'm going to ask John now a little bit about what's happening in his environment when he's making the coquinho oil or the ortiga tincture we'll talk about a little bit, or the maracas. I'm going to ask him, is he playing like reggaeton music or some really good hip hop or some great Pink Floyd? Is he drinking some beers? Is he in his PJs or his boxers? John, cuando usted está trabajando, elaborando, sea el coquindo, sea la ortiga, sea las chachas, tú tienes un buen Daddy Yankee tocando ahí, estás en los boxers, una buena birra, ¿cómo es la vuelta ahí?
Bueno, para mí digamos el
For
tejido
me, the weaving
y la parte botánica,
and working with the botanical plants,
que es las tinturas,
like the tinctures,
yo principalmente
empieza
el día
I start the day
5 de la mañana,
at 5 in the morning.
entonces ya a 5 de la mañana me levanto,
I wake up,
me baño,
I shower,
me conecto,
I connect through meditation,
algunas respiraciones
I do some breath work,
y ya digamos activando
and I activate,
y conectando que
and I
este
connect
día
that this
voy a
day
entregar,
as an intention for me to give. It's an offering that I'm giving.
voy a entregar en estos instrumentos
I'm going to give myself to these instruments, to these tools,
o en estas tinturas.
to these tinctures, to these healing therapies.
Entonces mambeo
I take some mambe
todo el día,
in ayuno.
sí, en ayuno.
I fast.
Luego me reposo un poco, desayuno.
After a few hours of work, at about 11 in the morning or 12, I'll rest for about half an hour and I'll have a light brunch.
Entonces tengo un lugar especial para estos trabajos.
And I have a special place. I have, what would you call this? He has a meditation office, because it's a workspace, but when you go there, you feel the energy, you see the feathers, there's the artifacts that he's collected throughout the years that the grandmothers have given to him, the grandfathers have given to him, and so it's a meditation office. There's a prayer that he holds there. There's a prayer of his ancestors that are there. I can testify because I've been there. At the same time, he has his workbench and he has his work tools. Es como una oficina de meditación. Yo estoy explicando cómo lo ha visto, ¿no? Y toda la energía que está ahí y cómo es.
Entonces ese espacio,
That's the space that I have.
pues me encanta porque
I love it there. I do too.
porque allí vivo una ceremonia total.
Because when I'm there, I live a ceremony.
Ya después que yo empiezo a tejer,
After I begin to weave,
yo me empiezo a ir.
I go. I start to fly in the journey.
Y ya digamos todo se mueve digamos al ritmo
And everything moves to a rhythm.
de que uno va tejiendo.
As I weave, a rhythm is born.
Y empiezo a vivirlo.
And I begin to live this
Digamos,
rhythm.
empiezo a recordar cuando era niño,
I remember my childhood.
cuando fabricaba las casitas,
I remember the little houses that I would make.
cuando veía las semillas,
I remember the seeds.
pero no sabía que
But
en
at that
este
time,
tiempo
I didn't know then
iba a ser un instrumento.
that they would become tools in my life now.
Entonces empiezo a recordar
So I remember the whole trajectory.
y empiezo a enviarles también
And I send
esa energía, digamos, las
this energy and these visions out.
visiones del yagé,
The visions of the yagé.
para que así digamos que hay la energía.
So the energy stays with everything that I touch, with everything that I'm working on.
Y es un trabajo muy lindo,
It's such a beautiful labor that I get to do,
porque ahí me ha enseñado la paciencia,
because it has taught me patience,
perseverancia,
perseverance,
para poder, digamos, lograr, digamos,
so that I can achieve
llegar a este punto.
to reach this point.
Y esa es la vida y ese es el camino.
And it has shown me that this is my life,
Perseverar
that this is my path,
sin afán,
to persevere without attachment,
para que así nosotros, digamos, vivamos así
so that we can live
en esa armonía
in harmony
y en ese estado
and in a state
de conciencia
of consciousness,
y perseverar
and to truly persevere,
para lograr
so we can achieve
una arquitectura,
architecture, a design, an art, a sharing that we can bring out into the world. Coño, qué lindo, John. Muy lindo. We have just a few more minutes, and I know that John's going to share a prayer with us. I see at least one question. Let me take the question first, and then we're gonna get into the Ortiga tincture, which is my favorite tincture. Basically, what I did was I found out of everything John makes, I took my favorite topical tincture as part of the interview for today, and my favorite ingested tincture, which is the Ortiga tincture, and we're going to talk about that one in a second. John, aquí tenemos una pregunta. It says, I'm an organic farmer in Oregon. When planting the seeds, are there mental mantras or actions I can take to bring more force and awareness to the seeds to cultivate a higher frequency back into the soil and surrounding ecosystem services? That's a beautiful question. John, aquí hay un agricultor de Estados Unidos, un estado que se llama Oregon. Él dice que yo practico la técnica orgánica. Me gustaría saber si hay algún tipo de mantra mental o acción que yo puedo tomar que puede traerle más fuerza o potencia o conocimiento a las semillas para cultivar una frecuencia más alta que se regresa al suelo y al ecosistema que los rodea.
Claro, es como el estudio, digamos.
It is the study.
Digamos, ahí lo que tiene que hacer es estudiar.
What I recommend for you is to study.
Digamos, es intentar.
To make an intention.
Y buscar.
And search.
Insistir.
To insist.
Para poder lograrlo, porque eso
to
está
be able
en
to
usted.
achieve it, because it already lives in you.
Digamos ya está sonándole por adentro.
There's a mantra already being born inside of you.
Entonces está llamando eso.
And that curiosity that you expressed to me shows that there's a calling inside of you already to connect to this mantra.
Entonces en ese momento va a encontrar justamente
at the right moment, if you persevere and insist,
esa conciencia,
you will connect with the consciousness of the seed,
con ese pensamiento,
with your thought,
y mantra,
and it will bring you the mantra.
Pero digamos, llegar al punto,
but to reach the point,
donde digamos usted está aportando,
where you are giving,
con ese pensamiento,
with your thought,
a la madre tierra,
to the Mother Earth.
Entonces, digamos, es tener claro ese pensamiento.
Be clear in your thoughts when you're working with your seeds.
Con lo que usted lo hace.
As you touch them, as you work with them, as you plant them, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? And this will open up your channel to the mantra.
Es preguntarnos qué podemos nosotros entregar.
You ask yourself, what can I give through this seed? What can I give through this service?
A nuestros corazones, a la madre tierra.
How can I give and plant my heart as a seed into the Mother Earth?
Y así, digamos, eso todo se va llegando.
All this comes to you
en un estudio.
As you study, as you make the honest. It's not a passive study. You know, it really requires a commitment to study.
Y perseverar y verá que
you have to persevere, and you will see that this will be good for you.
Es el corazón hacerlo del amor.
It's important that whatever you do, to do it with love from your heart space. Muchas gracias, John. This has been amazing. I can't believe an hour's gone by already. So I want to ask about the Ortiga. So Ortiga is king nettle, and there's about 300 varieties of nettles in the world. We use one that's called king nettle, and it has a lot of applications. We're going to talk a little bit about the application first, and then we'll talk about the tincture that John makes. John, háblanos un poquito sobre la ortiga que usamos para ortigarnos. Su misterio un poquito, cómo funciona, y después ya enteramos a la tintura y cómo se aplica.
Bueno, pues la ortiga es una medicina.
King nettle is a medicine
que sirve tanto espiritual.
That is good spiritually.
Es para guiar.
To guide.
Y para, digamos, limpiarnos.
And to clean ourselves.
Dentro de nosotros.
To clean the body internally.
El espíritu.
To clean the spirit.
Digamos cuando estamos muy así como perdidos.
And to clear the mind when we're lost in fog.
Entonces llega esta planta.
This plant comes.
La cual digamos a través de todas esas.
And it has many nettles under it and around it.
entra a lo más profundo de nuestro ser.
And these nettles bring information into the deepest parts of our bodies by striking against our pores.
Entonces allí, junto con los cantos,
And with the chants that the grandparents use with the nettles to accompany,
se enlaza, digamos, los cantos, los espíritus de
it
la
creates a
naturaleza
link between the spirits of nature
y de esta medicina
and the medicine
para que haya una liberación
to bring you liberation,
existencial profunda.
a deep existential liberation.
Y corporalmente
And physically,
le ayuda a uno para problemas de articulación,
it brings circulation,
reumatismo,
arthritis, joint swellings,
Dolores.
pains. It reduces
Stress.
headaches. It reduces stress. And the way that we typically apply the Ortiga, typically you have a healer that's familiar with the songs that go with the Ortiga, and you get as close to naked as possible. And we apply a little bit of a lotion called chandur, which is alcohol based on the body first. And then the Ortiga is applied over the body. It's a long stem with the leaves, striking your skin. They whip against your skin, and there the nettles connect to your pores, and they act. The pores act like a USB, or your pores act as a USB port, downloading the information from the nettles into the deepest aspects of yourself. And then the link is created through the chants, through the songs, and then we apply another lotion that has coquindo in it to reduce the swelling, because it does swell the skin and it stings. It's called sting nettle. So the other lotion, it brings in the energetic protection as well as reducing the physical discomfort that's very tiny, that's created. But Jhon has taken the Ortiga to another level. He's created a tincture that you can take internally. Entonces, Jhon, yo estoy explicando aquí ya un poquito sobre la Ortiga, pero yo estoy explicando que usted ya llevó la Ortiga a otro nivel,
sí.
a otro estudio, creando una tintura que uno puede tomar internamente. Háblame un poquito sobre eso.
Bueno, eso ya es como la parte botánica.
So this is more of a botanist study.
Entonces yo cuando empecé a conocer esta ortiga,
When I began to learn of the Ortiga and study it,
la conocí también cuando llegué aquí a la tradición, digamos, del yagé.
I learned it with the yagé tradition.
Entonces yo cuando recién me aplicaron ortiga,
And when I received Ortiga,
y a mí me ayudó mucho.
it helped me a lot.
Entonces yo empecé a investigar
So I began to investigate
para poder sacar una tintura
to be able to figure out how to take an extract, a tincture,
que le ayudara a uno
that would help one
al sistema, digamos, como a la circulación,
to bring support to circulation and the nervous
para
system
tomar.
that you could drink.
Entonces, digamos, eso también ayuda al sistema inmunológico y ayuda mucho a la circulación.
I discovered that by supporting the circulatory system and the nervous system through the Ortiga, it also boosted the immune system,
Porque como tiene, digamos, ese espíritu
because it carries a spirit,
y está vivo ahí,
a living spirit.
entonces toda esa tintura
So the extract, the tincture,
se saca
is taken out,
y uno está, digamos, tomando dentro de uno
and you take the drops internally,
toda esa fuerza de esa planta.
and with this, the force of the plant comes into you. Muchas gracias, Jhon. Increíble. So it's been an hour, and it has been an amazing journey. Usted nos va a dar un poquito de canto y eso, Jhon?
Claro.
Okay. Before Jhon goes, he's going to share with us a little bit of song and prayer. Before we do that, if you have any parting questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the chat. What is the code, Mariah?
Jhon 10 on food.
JHON. JHON. Okay. So we're going to run a promotion for Jhon, a Four Visions Market promotion for Jhon. So there's links in the chats that are available. And if you go to Four Visions Market and you go to Discover Us, you'll see a picture of all of our artisans there, and there's a picture of Jhon. Mire para la cámara, Jhon, this beautiful guy right here. That's Jhon Freddy Cepeda. And so for a while, for the next few days, as this video propagates, we're going to give anyone that wants to connect to anything that Jhon has made that's available on Four Visions Market, whether it's a musical instrument, whether it's the coquindo oil, the Ortiga tincture, a 10% discount as a way of supporting you, of saying thank you for being here with us, or for watching this video on replay, as a way of supporting Jhon and his path. But Jhon spells Jhon different. It's JHON, okay? So the 10% discount code for all of John's art and healing tools is JHON10. All right, you type that in the checkout and you get your 10% discount. We support John, we support you, we support one another, and we bring it all back to a big tribal circle of love and healing and empowerment. Because in these times, we need to support one another, we need to support ourselves, and we need to support nature through perseverance, through discipline, and through the power of light, love, and compassion. I wholly believe that in these times. So before we go, you can check out the links in the chat. Whether you're on the replay or not, whether you're on Facebook or not, we've got the chat. We have the links up everywhere, right? Most excellent. So again, whether you're here with us live, here on my screen, I'm looking at Cav, my brother, who's always holding it down with us. I can see Trudy Jones. I can see Hadia over in Africa. We got AJ and Therese. Oh my God, guys, thank you so much for rocking with us. I love you all so much. Big hug to Paul, Therese. We love you guys. Oh my God. So excited. This has been like, out of all the interviews I've ever done, hanging out with my brother John has been like the dopest, most... I can't believe it's been an hour. Mi hermano, increíble que ya pasado una hora, eh? You know, increíble. John, entonces, mi hermano, las bendiciones.
Vale.
So John's going to give us a blessing now before we go. Esta bendición es para
todo.
For everything. May all your path be blessed with mega wealth for your mind, your body, and your soul. May every day find yourself in a rainstorm of prosperity from the celestial realms. May your earthly path be blessed with a flourishing, and may the great waters of the Divine Mother carry you to your highest purpose in connection with your highest self. Thank you so much for joining us, for joining Jhon Freddy Cepeda Pesca, for being a member of the Four Visions Market Worldwide Tribe. We love you. We're grateful for you. May God bless you, and may Goddess protect you always, and may every day be the absolute best day of your life.
Pai maya, pai maya, pai maya, pai maya. Giro maya, toña caña, gente, criatura, espíritu, cuna. Kai, jereki, espejamiento, cuna. Pai maya, pai maya, pai maya, pai maya, pai maya. Dios su aquí, Dios su pai mare, Dios su pai mare. Gilla, cucuy, toña caña, toña caña, toña caña, toña caña. Eguri soji, bavi soji, eguri soji, toña caña, eguri soji, paya, creki baka, creki baka. Amo gente cuya guía, trabajito cuna, cajereki, bendiciendo Dios del Taita ayuda, Caraguay, pinta, pinta, cielo mañaca, cajereki, yaco laguna, pinta, su celeste cuna, cajereki, bautoyi, toña caña, kikireba, sausuru, kiro maña, creki baka, Dios Taita pinta, cielo maña caña, toña reca, ambisito pinta, cananguchero, pintero cuna, centro mañaris pejentero y cuna, bausoyi, toña caña, kikirema, sausuru, keyubaka, eansu, pai maya, gente ya se pinta, despedamiento cuna, cajereki, Bueno, Dios los bendiga.
May God bless you all. Thank you.